Hi everybody, here I am in cool and breezy Portugal, and if I look out over here I see green and in the distance blue, beautiful colours to be looking at in this hot summery Augusty time that we are all, either it's too cold or it's too hot. So here I am in Portugal for another week or so, enjoying the cool breeze, but always on the ball with the blog. Have you seen the blog? Going with your guts. You know what that's all about, don't you? Getting that feeling that you have inside and going with it, flexing your decision muscle wherever it is lying. And it is an interesting topic, you know, to go with your guts, to go with your feeling in your stomach, how you feel about it, what you're going to do about it. Do you have that? Do you have a feeling in your guts that you go with? So, welcome on board if you're watching now, or if you're going to catch the replay. Please come into the parlor. Hi, Christina. That's nice to see you. Yes, it's lovely and breezy here. I heard it's cooling down where you are too. Yes, that's what we need, a bit of breeze. Lovely fresh air here. So going with your guts, are you good at tuning in to that guts feeling? That's what we're going to be talking about today. How, yeah, loads of love. Don't we love that? You know, how we make decisions. How do we deal with decision making? How do we tune into all that? And it's something that we're not taught at school. It's something that nobody encourages us really to do, tune in to our gutsy feelings and say, yeah, I'm going to make my decision like that without thinking about it, with rationalizing it, or going with what society expects of us. It's sometimes very hard, isn't it? Because we have these pre-programmed choices in our heads that tell us what we should be doing and not what we really want to be doing. And somewhere in there lies the key, don't you think? So, yeah, I like those hearts. So, you know, sometimes when you go with intuition, people say to you, oh, that's a bit uncertain, isn't it? It's not logical. It's not been proved. It's not rational. It's a bit superstitious, isn't it? But we all know that that feeling in our gut is very often the real thing. It's what we're really on about. It's what makes us feel so good. And it's very difficult sometimes to go against what society tells us, or what our parents have told us, or what the religious organizations and temples and houses have told us, that you should do this, you should do that, you should make a decision upon your intellect, upon rationale, upon what society tells you. I mean, in the corporate world, in the political world, in the business world, they tell you to make a decision about weighing things up, looking at the pros and cons. And very often that decision just goes against our hearts. You been there? You've had that experience? You know what it's like? Pop your comments in the bottom there. Let me know what you think. You got questions? Let's have a chat about this. Going with your guts, because it's not always popular. I've even heard it said that it's a feminine thing. You know, it's intuition. It's not really, you know, not really allowed still. It's just something to play with. But we're going to get down to some serious discussion here. Now, those of you who've read the blog heard about that story about me being in Boston and having to make a decision about leaving the team, the performance poetry team, because it was so overwhelmingly disastrous. You know, the team wasn't doing well, nobody was backing up anybody, and a decision had to be made, and I made that decision to leave. But what happened after was even more interesting, because when I left the gang with my suitcase and I went out onto the streets of Boston, and it wasn't really a friendly place, I still had this superstitious thing in my head about the Boston Strangler. You know that story? Ridiculous as it is. So I went into this bar to have a cranberry juice, and I started chatting with the guy next to me. He was very surprised I was only drinking juice. And we had a nice discussion, actually. We got down to some nitty-gritties about life and the differences between the US and the UK and Europe and what people think about this, that, and the other. And then I saw it was late and I thought, okay, I've got a bed for the night, somewhere out of town. I'll take a walk up the road to the taxi rank and I'll get a cab out there. And that was it. So this guy very kindly offered to help me wheel my bag up to the taxi rank. And we got there and he looked at me and he said, why don't you come and stay with me? I've got a lovely place on the lake. It would be very beautiful. You would enjoy it so much. We could take a boat ride out in the morning because I got a boat as well. And you would see the lake and it would be really peaceful. And I'll tell you all about the history of Boston. And there I was, looking at him and looking at the guy in the taxi, and I had to make a decision. And in the flash of that moment, I saw something really crazy. I saw this boat, me in the boat, and then I saw my suitcase upside down with all my clothes floating in the water. And I felt that in the pit of my stomach. And my gut said to me, don't go, you mustn't go. It's not safe to go. You mustn't go on that boat. You mustn't go out there to the lake. And so I said to him, no, I think I'll take a taxi and go and spend the night with my friend. And he looked at me and said, are you sure you want to go in this taxi? I mean, can you trust that driver? Can I trust that driver? Well, I looked at the driver and I looked at him and I had this another feeling in my gut and I thought, no, I'll go with the driver. So I said to him, ship's in the night, I'm off. And I got into the taxi and had a good night's sleep and caught a train down to New York the next day. But that was a split-second decision, a momentary decision based on that intuitive picture that I had in my head of the suitcase floating upside down in the lake. It was scary. I was so frightened. Yeah, you know what I mean? I was really frightened to go that way, but it was a good decision. I flexed my decisive muscles and I made a decision going on my gut, my intuitive feeling. And it was right. It was the right decision because I went and spent the night with somebody in the poetry business who gave me some good advice about what train to take. Yay. And I felt much better. I slept, got on the train the next day. So I exercised my decisive muscles. You know what that is. And I wasn't at all regretting anything. It felt right. I knew I made the right decision. So what do you do? How do you make right decisions? Do you find it easy? Do you find that it's hard to access your intuitive feelings? Is it difficult? You got anything to say? Pop your comments in there. I'm having a look too. Do you find it difficult to access that intuitive, gutsy feeling, or are you good at making decisions? Are you good at making decisions? How do you make decisions? Do you base it on logic, on rationale? Do you weigh things up and look at the pros and cons and think, yeah, that's good and that's not so good? And then what? At the end of the list, you still have to decide. Because when we don't decide, what happens? We get agitated, we get full of regrets, we miss opportunities, we feel awful, we get into that limbo land of not knowing what's on, what's right, what's good. We doubt, we start questioning our abilities, we doubt ourselves, don't we? Have you been there? Do you know what it's like? Oh, the number of times I've been in these crazy situations, especially in the music business, where I've had to decide really quickly about doing something. And all I could do was go with my gut. That's all I could do. I couldn't use the logic. It was just wasn't right. It didn't make sense. Because I also go on your intuitive gut feeling too. Yeah. Intuition is your real intelligence. What a lovely way to put that. Yeah, it is your real intelligence. It is what's at the bottom of your guts, and yet it's sometimes very hard to access. You know, it's sometimes very hard to tune in. You know, we're so programmed to make decisions based on logic. And they did some studies about, I can't remember the name of the guy, but he had a tumor, and they took out the tumor from the front lobe, it was, and he could no longer make decisions. He couldn't even choose his tie. He didn't even know which tie to use. Trust it more than anything else. Yes, It is. It's about developing trust, Christina. That's a really good point. You have to tune in and trust and not fill yourself with regret and indecision. There's somebody that I know who may be watching later, and she's terrible at deciding. She's going, what should I do? Should I go there or should I not? Do you think it's a good idea? And she's asking everybody about what decision she should make. And then she has so many choices because so many people tell her their different opinions and their different ideas. And then she's even more confused than she was before. And then the worst thing of all, she doesn't move on any of it because the time is gone, the opportunity is gone, there's nothing left, there's no choices left because the time has passed. The moment has gone. And that's what happens. And then we start to regret, we get agitated, we think what's the point? What I should have done? What have I missed? Yeah, we look back and think we missed something. And then we start weighing up what could have happened if I decided this. And we spend all our time in our head instead of going forward and taking that risk. Sometimes you have to, but it's not even a risk, because if your gut says to you, do that, go for that, and it's a bit scary, because sometimes it is, because you haven't got anything there to support you, you think, because it's so risky, that word again, to go with your guts, to go with that intuitive feeling. So we don't trust it. But as Christina says, you have to learn to trust it and know that it's the right thing for you. And I'll tell you another thing, I think that's really important. Whatever decision you make, it's the right one. Don't you think? Whatever decision you make, it's the right one. Because if you've really gone with your intuition, your true intelligence, it's got to be the right one. And then there's no regrets. Yes, I like that. So what do you do when you've got a decision? Some see listening to intuition as gambling. Well, yeah, gambling, but gambling, I don't know. Do you think it's a gamble? That's the logical thing, I think, isn't it? That's when the logic sticks in the brain and says you should and you could and you should, and you go with what society tells you to do or what society expects you to do. Going with your intuition is going with your root. So when you can't, going with your roots, that's right. So what I do when I need to tune in, I do two things. If I haven't got time to think about things, if I have to make a decision on the very moment, then I have to go with my gut, I find myself asking, what do I want? What do I really want? What is at the core of my want? What is it that I want in life? What is it that I need to make a decision on? What am I wanting right now? And I ask myself that. And then I focus on that answer. And I don't give up until I get that answer, because that answer, it's like I've got a coffee here and I've got water. What do I want? Do I want the coffee or do I want the water? Right, I made a decision. I want the coffee. So I go for the coffee. I don't go for the water. Because if I go for the water, I'm not going for what I want. So I focus on what it is that I want. That's what I do. I mean, that's just a simple thing between coffee and water, which is not really important. And yes, okay, you could try that in a restaurant or when you're buying fancy shoes. But when you're doing this in life and you need to make a decision about a job, you need to make a decision about which road to go through, which road to go down, when you need to make a decision about your future, your career, even your love life, you have to make decisions. What do? You focus on what it is that you want, because what you want will come out. The answer will come out. You want to be with this person? Your intuition will tell you the honest answer if you tune in. So I think that's a very good question to ask yourself. And keep asking yourself, what do I want? What is it that I really do want? If you have time, what is it? Ultimate course is to listen and to follow our intuition, yeah. Yes, of course, to follow our intuitions. So if you've got time to make a decision, you've been given 24 hours, you've been given a week to make a decision, or even, well, something in between that, then in a way it's a bit easier because you can find your quiet space. You can tune in, you can close your eyes, tune in, close your eyes, get into the root of that. Now, some people meditate. Some people like to do that and go into themselves so that they can listen to that inner voice, that gutsy solution to the situation that they're looking for. Others may just simply shut off everything else and find a quiet place, close their eyes, and ask themselves again that question, what is it that I want? Yes, what do I want? That's really such a key and simple question to ask yourself. What do I want? And then focus on that. And if the answer's not coming, keep asking, because the more you ask yourself, some answer will come out. You'll be surprised. This is one of the problems, is that we seldom ask ourselves, what do we want? I trust or I don't trust. Some people immediately don't know what makes me do that. Yeah, what is it? It's a funny thing, isn't it, intuition? Oh, and Lara, thank you for coming on, Lara. Do you think indecision is linked to a lack of confidence? Well, as I know you so well, no, it can be. It can be linked to a lack of confidence. More to the point, lack of self-belief. Lack of self-belief in what you are saying is the true answer. Because when you make a decision to do something, you feel good, don't you? You feel good about it. And you have to stop that chatty little monkey telling you, should I have done that? No, I shouldn't have done that. Should I have done that? What could I have done instead? No, that's the problem, is that chatty monkey who comes on and tries to put you off course again. No, you made a decision. You know what you wanted. You wanted to go there. You wanted to be there. You wanted to have that. You wanted to work with that person. You made a decision upon asking yourself a simple question, what do I want? So when you have time, you can close your eyes and tune in. But then, as Lara says, the key is to sticking to that decision and believing it's the right one. As Christina says, trusting it, trusting that decision because it's your true intelligence. So when you make that decision, don't go with the regrets. Whatever decision you make, it's the right one. And you have to believe that it is the right one. Go with that decision. You've made it, so follow it through. Believe in the consequence, because the consequence is got to be good if you believe it. Intuitions are an organic part of our existence, nothing alien. Yeah, it is. We've just been so put off tuning in to our decisions. True, no regrets, no regrets. You made a decision to go out to Barcelona on such and such a date. Go with it. It's going to be fantastic. You made a decision to leave your partner. You bet it's going to be good. You made a decision to stay with your partner. Yes, it's the right decision. Whatever you do, you made that decision from your gut. Trust it. Believe it. Go with it. No regrets. Follow it through. Because some other opportunity will always come up. And it is rooted in self-belief and trust. And because in this society we're told to go with a rational mind and keep thinking it through. But no, we have to tune in. And, can you meditate? Can you close your eyes and find a quiet space? Can you listen to that little inner voice? Because once you do that, you will find that the answer comes up. The true answer comes up. And then you go for it. You focus on it and you go for it. So, what's next? What do you do next? Does that help? Does that help to tune into your intuition? Because it is so hard today, when society tells you you've got to make a quick decision, you've got to make a snap decision, you've got to go. It's not always about going with the flow. It is about deciding, because when you decide to do something and you feel good about that decision, things start to happen. Things really start to happen in your life, but you have to take that step forward. Tune in, Listen, your voice says this, go for it. You want to do it? Go for it. Focus on it and make it happen. I think that's the key thing. You make it happen and you make the best of it, whatever your decision is. And once you start flexing that muscle, you sort of exercise it a little bit more, you will find that it comes easier every time because you start to trust it. And it always works out. Even if you think, oh, I should have gone the other way. What if I'd done this? That's not the way to think, because that only leads to regrets. Yeah, it only leads to regrets. So go with it. Go with that decision. Feel strong about it. Feel confident. That's the key of it. And whatever decision you make, it's going to be the right one because you've done it from within and you're going to make it the right one. Well, it's lovely that you've made all these comments and I really appreciate that you joining in, chatting with me. It's a beautiful day out here. You can see the sea, you can feel the breeze. I hope you're all enjoying your evening too. And if you're catching the replay, put your comments in there. I want to hear from you too. To respect our own intuition is important as to respect others. That's true too. You have to respect others' intuitions, even if you don't always agree with what they're saying, because it is about respecting as well their point of view and their decisions. Good point. Very deep. So if you're catching the replay, stick your comments in. It would be lovely to hear from you. Next week, I shall be, where shall I be next week? I think I'm still going to be here in this beautiful place. And we're going to find another topic that we can get into and dive into and sort out. But meanwhile, if you want to talk with me about something, I'm going to offer you the Power Hour, which is my summer special. And it will be all about getting into what it is that you feel is your obstacle, is resisting your decision making. Whatever it is that you need to decide upon, to bring out of you, breeze, whatever it is that you want to hone in and find out that what makes you take you up to the next level. Where do you want to be in 6 months? What is it that you want to be doing? How to follow through? That's my Power Hour for the summer. I've got a special offer on that. So if you're interested, put a little comment and we can get in contact and have a little chat together. See what it is that you want to do to bring you up to the next level so that you can shine and sparkle and get that yes answer every time. Isn't that what you want? So I look forward to seeing you all next week. Thank you so much for being with me today. Have a beautiful evening wherever you are. Yes, thank you. Self-belief. That's what it is, darling. Self-belief. And I know you've got loads of it, you little sparkling thing. So I wish you all a wonderful evening. Christina, thank you so much for coming on. I'm so happy you're enjoying cooler climes. And Jula, lovely to see you on as well. And all those other people who are watching, either now or in the replay, have a fabulous evening. Believe in yourself. Flex that decision muscle. Keep it flexed, and you will see what wonderful things will happen for you when you keep that positive. Well, it's not even positive, it's self-belief. That's what it is. Go for what you want and focus on it. So have a fabulous evening, everybody, and I'll be seeing you again in a week. Take care now. Bye for